So it's currently the 22nd of August, meaning it's been about 2 weeks since Fragapalooza. After a lot of time, I ended up cutting all the Fragapalooza content up into parts and getting the whole playlist set up. It's 120 videos long, 17 of those videos being Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is on the wrong monitor again. I guess I haven't booted it up since coming back here. Also, that's my display capture, where you get to see that I was just doing my going live notifications. Where's my mouse cursor? I forgot that I was recording a bit for the Scarlet and Violet DLC video essay, and I was using display capture there. Oh well, it's not like it revealed like any terrible evidence that's just sitting on my computer waiting to be accidentally seen one of these days. Thank goodness it was none of that stuff. I need to have this be on the monitor in front of me, preferably. And hello, Delta Thingy. Things are going pretty well today, I would say. A decent bit has been happening since Fragapalooza. Let me set this to the right monitor, and then things will be a little bit better. I figured this is only the second time streaming since Fragapalooza ended. The first one was a little bit of Metroid Prime 2 because that was my main Fragapalooza game. And so I kind of wanted to follow up with that and be like, oh yeah, Fragapalooza's done, here's the updates on how that all went. And then the next one I wanted to do was AC Odyssey. And I have time tonight, so I'm doing AC Odyssey tonight. Where would it be display? It would be this. It's an LG one. So apply. Yeah. I figured the next one that I would continue with is like my never-ending game here, the game that I've been playing for like 8 months and still isn't done. But the end point is finally in sight now that I've completed DLC 1 at Fragapalooza, and now it's just DLC 2 that's left that I'll start tonight that I hear is significantly longer, so I'm not gonna beat it in one sitting like I did DLC 1, so it'll still take a few streams. But I wanted to do that. I just did this quest. This quest? This DLC thingamabob. Oh yeah, and I could do that. And I don't want to do that. Remnants of the Ancients. Is that the next DLC? And I marked that? Hold on, let me just check really quickly. Oh yeah, there was still more to DLC 1. There's this stuff. Well, this stuff. Further that, because there's other branches of things to take down. I can look up whether that's important. And if it is, do it another time. But otherwise, I just kind of want to start DLC 2. Where's DLC 2? Meet the contact. I don't... Oh, the mark... Oh, here? Okay, on this island, I guess. But yeah, I gotta be lurking it out since we're playing some Cult of the Lamb as well. Nice, nice. Oh, apparently okay, sure, let's do that. So, it's been a little while since Fragapalooza. I didn't end up beating Metroid Prime 2 at Frag like I initially hoped, because the game was longer than I expected, and the Smash tournaments took me longer than expected, which, thank goodness I was able to stream them all so I can look at what the total runtime was and factor that into plans next year. My second camera still isn't really working all that well. Like, the video has been working fine since getting here, but it has like a 2 or 3 second delay, and it's weird, and I think I might just get like maybe a much nicer main camera at some point, and then this camera can become my secondary cam. So I've been browsing around face cams lately to buy something that's not half bad, but they can get definitely pretty pricey, and I want to make sure that I'm getting one that's actually like good and nice and not too bulky on top of my monitor. Even though I don't be the only one that sees it, I still want something that's visually appealing for me. It's kind of the case, so I've been in the market for one of those lately. There, I may as well grab that while I'm here. There's no reason not to. It took me about a week following Fragapalooza, among being busy with other work stuff that I needed to do, to get all the Fragapalooza stuff cut up. Which, if I show that really quickly, just to show it briefly during Assassin's Creed Odyssey stuff, let's see here. So the way that I handled that was it is 120 videos, and it was quite a time. There's a lot of videos in here. Most of this is like Smash Tournament bracket. Well, not most. 50. 50 of 120 is Smash Tournament bracket stuff, but it's what inflated it the most. So at Frag, we had started out with some Metroid Prime 2. Then I was challenged to some Smash Bros, so did that. Then I did the little smidge of Unicorn Overlord I wanted to do there. Then continued with Prime 2 for a little while, and then the free-for-all tournament happened, so we did like the entire free-for-all tournament. And then that night, I was doing some Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, some of the post-game of that, and that was the end of the first night. And then I woke up the following morning of Frag Day 2 and started playing some more Metroid Prime 2 all the way up until the doubles tournament started. And then there's all these. These ended up taking a while to make. I have a project set up for this that I initially developed these kinds of thumbnails for when I was doing Smash tournaments for VGLS several years ago. But it works for Fragapalooza stuff as well. But man, with how many characters some people were playing in a game, I had to find a lot of character arts to shove in there. Like, look at this. We only have ourselves to blame for that, considering that was my team there. But yeah, and then we did Assassin's Creed Odyssey Legacy of the First Blade. This is the last time it was streamed. Part 201 to 217, so this will be part 218 that's currently being streamed. And then once that was through, ended the second day, and then woke up on the third day, and it's like, alright, more Metroid Prime 2, try to get through that. And then these hands came over and challenged me, so I played him for a little while. And then we ended up doing the full singles tournament, which took a little while as well. I mean, you can see the full runtime there, 6.5 hours to do the whole tournament. And then while I was taking stuff down, our two finalists ended up playing against each other for a while. Then I was like, all right, let's do my Elden Ring bit. So I started doing that, and I only made like 1 part's worth before I was challenged to more Smash. And I was like, okay, I'll play more Smash. So I ended up doing that, and I was like, okay, I'm running out of time here. It's the night of day 3. I gotta do like all my playthrough stuff rapid fire. All my currently ongoing series is that I want just 1 part / 1 session of it, Frag. So then I did Super Mystery Dungeon, and then Fire Emblem Fates, and then the little smidge of Mario and Luigi Partners in Time, then the little smidge of Persona 3, and then I was like, I'm just committing to Metroid Prime 2 for the entire rest of this event and see if I can get through it. So this was the end of day 3, like I had to go to sleep, well it was morning day 4 you could say. I had to go to sleep because I was just so dang beat, and I was like, I need at least a few hours here. And I got up, and I went up to here, and I couldn't beat it. And I still haven't beaten it. I've streamed it once since then, and I still haven't beaten it, because there is a decent bit more. But next stream will definitely be the last. And I was thinking about just streaming it tonight, rather than this here. But I was like, let's do Odyssey tonight. I can beat Metroid Prime 2 whenever I want here. But yeah, so it was quite a lot there. Only there to watch a bit of the Frag stuff, but pretty fun to watch while you're there. Well, I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, Frag was really, really busy, but really fun was the case. I'm glad that people ended up having a lot of fun with the tournaments that I was hosting. People seem to really like the dragons that I 3D printed. Like, my hat's kind of blocking one there. These guys, the articulated dragons, people seem to really like those. Oh, and I just knocked the controller down. I'm using this controller stand that I printed, putting it over here. I need to change course over this way. Let's just put my hat back here. Here, this way we go. So people seem to really like the dragons, which I'm glad for, but I didn't end up getting the chance to give all of them away, and things were really hectic at the end, so I had like a whole bunch of spare leftover dragons. Now I just have a bunch of dragons around my house. I'm all over the place. So there's that. So you're there, me, you were watching the stream, not at Frag, that'd be insane if you were there. Yeah, there are 2 people that have watched the stream before that were there at Frag. Well, I mean, technically 3 if we're gonna say, like, have been in the stream at all before. But, like, I guess actually 4 then. We're not counting people that, like, found my stream through Frag. Not counting them. One was a friend of my little cousin. I don't actually know how Snow Penguin found me, but Snow Penguin was at Frag and played in the free-for-all tournament, who I know comes to these strims. And managed to get, like, a sick rest on Kane. Kate, fine, I'll track it. I know. Markers.
Phidias was right.
This is for a different quest? Oh, well, maybe I'll grab that while I'm here? I don't know. And then I'll do the quest thing? So, yeah. Frag was kind of insane. Kind of fun. But, yeah, it's, I've been spending a lot of time catching up after that. That's something that I'm gonna wonder here. Apparently it's bigger than the last one. I know it's been a while since, like, beating the main game, and this playthrough is still ongoing, but I started out with these free DLC quests, which were called the Lost Tales of Greece, which I only have 1 left, and then, so I've done, why am I struggling with words? I only have 1 left. I'll do that whenever I feel like doing it. And then the main DLC one I did start to finish at Fragapalooza, apart from this. I assume it's optional stuff. Maybe I'll do it later if I can be bothered, and I'm about to start DLC 2. So there's free DLCs, then paid DLC 1, and paid DLC 2, and I'm about to start paid DLC 2. And apparently it's not the shortest thing ever from what I've heard. How long to beat Assassin's Creed Odyssey? Well, that's a search there. Fate of Atlantis, how long to beat? Oh, I remember looking this up and it's saying like 25 hours. Oh, I guess I made story plus sides. Okay, well, maybe I can get through this in 2 to 3 streams. Then I still have one last free DLC quest, and maybe that other stuff of Legacy of the First Blade if I really want to, depending on how important the not cult members are. I forget what their group is called. The whatever that group is. Whoa, you look kind of weird, don't you? Yeah, I might just. If I did commit to it more than my other games, I could probably finish it sooner, I think. But since this is gonna be like my only Assassin's Creed playthrough of the year anyway, and then starting Valhalla in December, January 1st, I may as well spread it out a little bit anyway. I just got some money for that, apparently. I don't know what quest that was, but apparently I accepted some quests related to that a while back. So, I mean, if I just committed to this for a little while, I'm sure I could get through it sooner. Like, maybe there'd be 4 or 5 more streams, but I have a lot of other games going on right now, so I might space it out. Just be doing streams when it's like, hey, it's been a little while, let's do some more of this. I have other cool stuff going on around here to talk about. Now that Fragapalooza is done, I do have, like, updates on that and can talk about that whole journey. This seems normal.
My name is Cassandra.
Names change, but this task is eternal. You
So hopefully this DLC doesn't take me forever. I choose my own tasks.
I perform, I decide.
Convince me to play this DLC.
Who are you?
I am called many things, but
My name is Inigo Montoya.
With the staff in your hands, we are now entwined.
I do not have a staff in my hands.
Entwined? How?
I can now present myself to you in a form that you recognize. You must deliver me to the heir of memories. Even now,
normal
she
everyday
watches
stuff.
us. When I speak to you, I speak through you to her.
Animus stuff. I think I understand.
So, I'm supposed to hold the staff until this heir person takes it from me. What will happen to me?
What happens to all of us? Then, she will open the great seal to Atlantis. It longs to be opened. Your task is to be the keeper.
So
until
the
that
end
time.
of this
Pledge
DLC
yourself.
is probably going to be the end of the main game that was a little bit of a cliffhanger where Cassandra passed the staff to... Oh god, I don't remember what her name is. Whoever the new modern day protagonist is. I don't know what her name is. I can't remember it. Maybe I'll remember it later, but right now I just don't know. But when Cassandra passed the staff to her and then died and was like, hey, it's yours now, do the thing that you gotta do, and then the game just kind of ended and I was like, what the heck? I guess this is going to follow up on that and we'll probably see the actual ending to this game by completing this
Where is
DLC?
this heir?
Not where, but when.
Is what it sounds like?
She is yet to be, but even still, she is here.
Oh yeah, it
She
might
is
well be
now.
Layla. I think you might be right there. Samurai. Well, I gotta do this to do the DLC to progress things,
Let's
so
keep the staff
it'll just
until the
back
heir
me out
of
if I do the other
memories,
thing, I'd imagine.
that is ready to take it.
Till I come back. Okay. Oh, and we're going to the modern day now? Where she's like, whoa, she's talking about me.
What did your diagnostic show you?
But didn't we already pass the staff?
It will take us time to analyze.
I assume the staff has been canonically passed
Cut
at
out, you there?
this point here. Is there a dead Cassandra around here? No.
Try to relax.
Okay, I don't know.
Heir of memories.
And yeah, it definitely
The
was
seal awaits you.
wearing like a super official looking suit.
Did you hear that?
Nothing on our end. What did you hear?
Before
Imagine
there
this
was
entire
any
DLC
story
takes
that
place in the
being
modern day.
giant, But just now I heard a voice. The same one Cassandra heard in Atlantis.
Might be the bleeding effect. Like Kyoshi said, try to relax while Atlantis
Avatar
does the
Kyoshi.
diagnostic.
Go to the seal, heir.
What, it's over there? What happens if I interact
Technology
here?
that Cassandra activated millennia ago. It was ancient even when she found it.
I feel like there should have been emphasis on she with that sentence. It was ancient even when she found it. You know?
This must be where the Minotaur's pillar was.
Looks
Wait,
like
what?
it was functioning at some kind of gate.
Oh, just for like the Minotaur's key. I was like, this wasn't the Minotaur battle arena. Like, I know this playthrough's been going on over a long time, to the point that I grew out a beard during this playthrough ongoing. But like, my memories of it can't be getting that mixed up, right? That's what I thought for a second. Oh, I just have this now. I was just carrying it. I guess it's just one of those video games where it's just in your pocket.
The keeper delivered me to you.
Is her hair gray?
Her
Or
pledge
is it just
has
the
been
lighting?
satisfied, and now I am entwined with you.
What's that, staff? I
Heir
should
of
kill them all?
memories, This is the great seal to Atlantis. It has waited long to meet you.
Victoria, Alethia's voice is coming through the staff. Victoria?
The interloper can't hear you now.
The interloper?
Focus, Layla. You're not going crazy. I think that
Why does the staff look like it's both really highly detailed and also like a PS2 game item
holding the staff for
at the same time?
And somehow the staff has been equipped for audio transmission and is connected to this seal.
Well, maybe Cassandra should have told you before she died.
It almost looks like a locking mechanism.
Name these symbols in order, and at long last, the seal will open to the heir of memories.
Okay, talking stick. But which symbols and in what order? There must be some way to know.
The keeper kept this riddle and more in her mind.
Oh, so this is
Altair 2.
what I gotta
Going
do.
back in the Animus. If the signal gets through,
I mean, how many different combinations can there be for a passcode? Do we really need to go back to the Animus, or can we just do one of those guess it until you get it kind of situations for a puzzle? I mean, realistically here. I just saw symbols to interact with. I don't know if you need to interact with them in a certain order. But I would probably just, like, sit there and force it, is what I would do. Probably be a lot faster than going to the Animus.
The heir of memories to the symbols. A man
That's
called
so
Theros
dumb.
knows of their whereabouts.
Theras? The guy who helped get Phidias out of Athens? Is that why you've brought me back to this place?
Here, the role of the keeper bound itself to you, though you didn't know it yet. Now, to uncover the truth, we must go to Theros.
Who's there of memories?
Heir of memories when I see her.
She will come to you. The end of your journey is in the Hall of Atlantis, where her true journey begins.
Who is
I
the
don't
keeper?
understand who the keeper is.
The keeper isn't a person, but a task, and it is yours. Pythagoras held the staff to exploit its power. The keeper's task is to restrain it and protect it from the hands of corruption until the heir of memories appears.
Okay, what are you?
Or what are you?
I am Alethea. Pythagoras called my people the ones who came before, but we are the issue. Like you, I invited rebellion into the world, though there were complications. I replicated my consciousness in the staff of Hermes Trismegistus so that I can speak with you and the heir.
Okay, where's
Theras
Terras?
could be anywhere now.
What I know is that he was brought to Seriphos, but be careful. He went against his will.
I'm
Okay,
going to find
I'll
Theras.
go find him.
I guess you're coming with me?
Our tasks are the same.
Wait, so
Layla, come in.
if a copy of your consciousness is in the staff, I guess that means I do canonically have the staff in my inventory right now.
Kiyoshi is looking into it.
I know this sounds crazy, but I think it's the staff.
Nothing sounds crazy to me anymore. Still, I'd like to verify. In other news, your Animus is definitely bugging out. Victoria is yelling at her monitors in French, and
Don't we all?
I'm not sure what you're doing is safe. You call that yelling? Layla, the Altair 2 is moving into position.
What's
You
the
can ask
Altair
them up
2?
here while we take a look at it.
I can't do that, babe.
Whoa.
Cassandra's looking for Theras who might know how to unlock the Great Seal to Atlantis.
The what? Layla,
Theras was a friend
Yeah,
to
so
Phidias.
her name is
I'll
Layla.
let you know more as soon as I get answers. Layla out.
Layla out. Anyway, and let's see here. Theory that Layla met Desmond and I don't know, might be Matrix computer? What? That's a theory that some people have? Isn't there only 3 symbols? She only has 6 combinations unless the 2 was error punishment. But we gotta go to the Animus to play the DLC. That's what we gotta do. I've never played an Assassin's Creed game. Why exactly are we in the modern day now? What's going on? So all the Assassin's Creed games technically take place in the modern day, where you're a person that goes into this machine called the Animus that lets you experience genetic memories of either your own ancestors or other people's ancestors if you've linked their DNA, I guess. And just experience the memories that were locked away in their DNA and all that is what it is. So in every Assassin's Creed game, you have brief segments. Where is this objective? Oh, it's one of the ones I have to look for. In every Assassin's Creed game, there are brief sections in the modern day because you're really a person that is experiencing these. You're basically like, the person that's in the modern day is basically like the player of the video game, where the video game is real memories that canonically happened in this world, however many years ago for each respective time period, each game that takes place. And in Assassin's Creed lore, there was this civilization that came before of these people that looked like humans, but were like this superior race and super smart and amazing, and then a solar flare wiped them out, and humans managed to survive. But the main MacGuffins of Assassin's Creed games are these powerful artifacts made by those that came before, like that staff that we saw earlier, or Apples of Eden, or like some of the most common ones in Assassin's Creed games that can cause illusions and mind control people, and every Assassin's Creed game will have like a different MacGuffin that does some sort of other magic BS from this first civilization. And it's just powerful artifacts that the good guys and the bad guys scramble over, is what it is. That's Assassin's Creed lore. And this game established like, oh, Atlantis is a real place and it was sealed away. And I guess that's what this DLC is all about, because this DLC is called The Fate of Atlantis. So, like, we see that Atlantis was sealed away at this, and I guess our character Layla in the modern day is trying to get into it and trying to delve into these memories to find out what the combination is. And we need to find the combination here so that she can get it. The staff was just telling me here, like, oh, go find the combination, find Terrace, find the combination, and then the person in the modern day will know it and be able to unlock Atlantis and yada yada. So this does follow up where the main game ended then. So it's on Seraphos Island. I don't see a Seraphos Island. Am I blind? Seraphos. Oh. Seraphos is in the northern part of the Cradle of Myths. Okay, so just like north here, due west of Forest Island. So just go here and go north and I'll find this person. That sounds confusing. Then again, you shouldn't be complaining or anything like that, fan of Kingdom Hearts. And there was a time that the modern day story of Assassin's Creed was actually like interesting and building up to something, and then they just threw it all in the trash. And it's like probably my least favorite storytelling thing ever in like any video game, maybe any media. But yeah, all those MacGuffin got beat easily with the stabby knife or, you know, gun. Yeah, that's true. Because there has to be some way for the heroes to defeat the villains that got the powerful MacGuffins. So yeah, some stabby or some shooty depending on the Assassin's Creed game usually beats the bad guys even when they get like the ultra powerful MacGuffin. But the really big thing that ticks me off about Assassin's Creed modern day lore is it actually started out with a kind of interesting story where it's like, oh, Desmond has been captured, is the main guy that you're playing as in the modern day, has been captured by the bad guys, and they're delving into his genetic memories through the Animus to try and find all these powerful MacGuffins so that they can rule the world and all that. And as Desmond, you escape, join up with the good guys, and continue delving into memories to find the MacGuffins before the bad guys get the MacGuffins. And you find out that this awful, like, cataclysm that happened to the world once before, forever ago, is gonna happen again, and you find out eventually that it's a solar flare. Like, another solar flare is gonna come out and wipe out, like, 90% of life on the planet, pretty much. You gotta do something to stop it, and there's a temple that you can go to that has the power to stop the solar flare that the first civilization made. So in Assassin's Creed 3, which is actually the 5th game in the series, because Ubisoft doesn't know how numbers work, you end up going to this temple, and it seems like, okay, AC3 is gonna be, like, the grand finale. And you need to delve into another ancestor's memories to find the key into this temple, kind of like we're doing in this game right now. And you get the key by the end, and you go in, and, oh, I didn't realize it was going to trigger this close. And then the main first civilization bish is like, hey, you made it here. Now just touch the thing, and the world will be saved. And then this other first civilization bish is like, can I pause? Then this other first civilization bitch is like, no, don't trust her, she's evil. It's going to release her consciousness onto the world, and it'll be like this super awful thing, and she's gonna want to take over. And then Desmond's like, huh, well, do I save the world from a solar flare but unleash her? Or do I let the world burn and let the scraps of humanity rebuild? And he's like, I'm gonna save the world, and we'll figure out what to do with this bish later that wants to take over everything. So he touches the thing, he saves the world, it kills him in the process, and then AC3 ends like with, oh, you did your role well, Desmond, now it is time for me to do mine. And it's like, whoa, there's like this really crazy main antagonist that it's building up to. And then in Assassin's Creed 4, you find out that her consciousness is in the servers of the bad guys, Abstergo, where she's like, aha, I'm here in the servers. I'm getting ready to do an evil plan, but I'm not ready to do it yet. And then, was there anything with her in Assassin's Creed Unity? I think there was during, like, the end credits where she's, like, ordering some of the Abstergo people around, and she's like, oh, we're gonna do our evil thing soon. And then Assassin's Creed Syndicate, the next game, she sends out, like, a message across the planet, or maybe just to those in the Animus, I don't remember what it was, where it's like, I'm gonna do this evil stuff, and I'm getting ready to do it really soon. And then they were like, you know what, we've been building up this plot line for over a decade now, let's just not even resolve it in the games, and just make a series of a couple of graphic novels and resolve it in that. So they made these graphic novels where they were like, oh, Desmond, the character that you played as before, turns out he actually has a son, and that son is the protagonist of these graphic novels. And so the graphic novels see him going up against the bad guys, Abstergo, and ultimately Juno, that big bad that was in, like, their systems that was released by Desmond. And towards the end, I haven't read it myself, but from what I've heard, apparently she gives herself, like, a true flesh and blood body, and is like, aha, I've returned, and then gets immediately assassinated by one of the main characters, and that's it. There was, like, no backups of her mind in, like, any of the servers. She put her whole consciousness into a flesh and blood body, and then died immediately, was killed, like, right after that, and then plot solved. After, like, 10 years plus of building up that story through the games, they did that in graphic novels, and now just pretend that that never happened in the video games. And it's like, oh my god. What even? And now, like, all the other games, they still use this lore of, like, oh, there was this first civilization and these crazy artifacts and stuff. But now it's no longer interesting, in my opinion. In the beginning, it was actually building up to something, and it was revealing information along the way. Like, as a player, it had you curious, like, whoa, who are these people? Like, what's the backstory? Nowadays, everyone knows that it's like, oh, yeah, civilization before, they were called the Isu, they made powerful artifacts, yada yada. And it doesn't feel like it's building up to anything anymore, these new games. So it's like, what's even the point of the modern day? Like, maybe it's gonna build up to something new with Layla here. In the last game I played, Origins, it revealed that she had made, like, the new Animus model that lets you delve into memories for the bad guys, but then they apparently weren't, like, super nice to her and didn't credit her properly or something, so she joined the Assassins, the good guys, and still is with them as part of this game. And now we're trying to open up Atlantis for some reason. I genuinely couldn't tell you. Like, I have fun playing these games. They're kind of fun gameplay-wise, and Ubisoft games are always glitchy messes in a funny way. So they're kind of fun and janky to play. But man, do I hate what they did with the story. At least the individual stories can still sometimes be good. Like, I think my favorite one is still AC Unity's. Just like the stories of the individual assassins that you're delving into the memories of. But my god, the modern day, what they did with that is such a dumpster fire. They could have built up to, like, some massive finale, concluded the modern day story, and then all of the games from there just not even have an Animus and have you just directly play as the characters in game themselves. Especially considering everyone always complains that the modern day is, like, the weakest part, and they wish that they could just play in the actual game world itself and not be taken out to modern day here and there. So, like, if they just had, like, a big finale of, here's an Assassin's Creed game that takes place in the modern day that, like, finishes off the main storyline and is, like, the great conclusion, and then you can still make games from there that, like, they might not be building up to that grand conclusion anymore, but are still fun, interesting, individual stories. They could have done that. But now they've missed their chance to do that. They can't do that anymore. And now, it's whatever the heck is going on here. And I guess now we're trying to open up Atlantis. Distract? What do I do to distract?
Go check it out.
What did I throw a rock? It sure didn't sound like it. Why did this guy just die? He was like, go check it out, and then he died. Imagine, though. I am so confused.
You're right.
It's nothing compared to what they did to Porfidias.
I distracted him so hard, he died. Like I was saying, these games are jank and silly, and they're fun to play because of that. But, yeah, let's see here. And she's evil. She wears purple. Didn't you know we're purple? And, oh, I'm gonna do evil thing. Proceeded to do nothing. She finds out humanity is already out-eviled her. I don't know. Yeah, maybe that was the reason. It's like, oh, well, I guess I can't top that. Yeah, she looks at him. She looks at him, Sturgo sails and went, OMG. They can do the funny Zelda endless cycle thing, but no. What of just, like, Ganondorf reviving and the hero reviving over and over again? Get Desmond to revive or something. Or like AC Chronicles just jumping to the character. Is that how it was? Yeah, I think that is how it was in AC Chronicles now that you mention it. I just found AC Chronicles like so forgettable so much of the time that it's hard for me to remember. Tell me about the symbols.
I need you to think. I'm looking for the location of some symbols. I can't explain why, but you have to help me.
I was exploring the tombs of Agamemnon, Eteocles, and Orion. I'm a traveler like you.
Until I took an arrow to the knee.
Etched them onto parchment to give to Phidias as a gift.
Where did you find the symbols?
In Argolis, you'll find one in Agamemnon's tomb.
Agamemnon's.
Eteocles' tomb in Attica is where I found another.
Okay, so I'm sent on a
Final one.
not fetch quest now. Not really fetching things. I'm fetching information.
What did you hear about
But I have to go to
Phidias?
these 3 locations now. Just like how DLC 1
Came
worked.
into his workshop, tortured
I swear, if I don't actually get to
broke his
explore
head.
Atlantis in this
His
DLC, like,
was too destroyed for a
that
proper
would be so
burial.
lame. Like, with the name of the DLC, The Fate of Atlantis, it's like,
You need to find
you
somewhere
gotta
safe.
go there at some point, right?
You can sail with
This
us
can't
and
just
we'll
be
rest
fetch quests to find information and then you get a big cutscene at the end,
Take
right?
this map. It's rough, but it's the
Surely
best I
not.
could do.
I'll
Here you
be
go,
incredibly
brother,
disappointed.
and thank
Because we went into, like, the spirit world or whatever it was in the last game, Assassin's Creed Origins. Tomb map. Roughly drawn map indicates the location of the tombs on Agamemnon, Eteocles, and Orion. So, is that something I need to pull up and access to find where these things are? Uh-oh, this sounds like it's gonna be annoying. Let's see here. But yeah, also the first quadruple A game finally appears in Steam, and already has 60% disc in UK. What is? Oh, that's probably short for discount. I was like, what do you mean discs on PC? That's pretty uncommon. So Skull and Bones is already 60% off there. Find the 3 symbols. Here, let's do this. Wow. You know, one thing that I have thought about making before is just, like, I probably never would, but it's been an idea in the back of my mind, is what would it look like if I made a top 10 list of, like, the top 10 worst games that I've ever played on this channel. Like, among all my playthroughs that I've done. And one of the top ones, if not the top one, might honestly be Skull and Bones. Because, I mean, I can play broken, unfinished messes like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but at least games like that still have some fun aspects about them. Skull and Bones was just straight up, like, boring. Like, what the hell do you do? It's just so unbelievably boring. I couldn't motivate myself to play any more of it. So, I don't know if I'd ever have, like, the time to put in, like, editing for that. Or just put it in, like, the discussions playlist and just put in minimal editing. Just something that I make for fun. It's just been, like, a thought is all. It's an Argolis. Because, yeah, it would either be the top or very much up there would be the case. If I think about it. Is in the southwest of Palace of Agamemnon. Argolis. Palace of Agamemnon. Southwest. Okay, it's there. Where's the closest fast travel point? Here, I guess. This is where I should go, I think, then.